So let me tell you about the time I got my first computer. I was about 13 or 14 years old, and the bodega down the street was about to upgrade its system that they used for as a cash register and to rent out VHS movies, that kind of stuff. And I went to the owner and I'm like, hey, any chance I could buy your old one? He's like, sure. How about $50? I said, yeah, no problem. So I went and I got $50. I got it came with the monitor, the case, the keyboard, the mouse. I took it home and man, was this thing super slow and barely worked. So I had a friend whose dad worked for Tektronix in Oregon. And so I went to him and I was like, hey, can you take a look at this for me? And he was like, sure. So he popped it open and he goes, wow, this thing's old. This is an old 286. I'm like, oh, I don't even know what that means. It's like, yeah, it's really old. But now that I think about it, I have a 386 that I use for a doorstop in my office. How about I see if I can get you that thing? So I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So he came back and he brought me back a 386. He said, well, at least with this one, you can upgrade it. I was like, oh, okay, perfect. I took it home and lo and behold, it worked. And it was a lot better than the last one. And so that's the story of how I got my first computer. Hello, world. I'm Marco Guerrero, your host for the We Are Cardano podcast. In today's episode, we will be speaking with Ron Hill of Decentralized Reality. Both he and I are running for board seats on the SPOCRA Creation Committee. So if you're an SPO and haven't voted yet, please check us out. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, our interview with Ron Hill.
Andrew.
Mike.
Shweta.
Adan.
Raymond.
Garren.
Rick.
Naman.
Amanda.
Patrick.
Bill. Peyton. James.
Umed.
Nicole.
I'm Adam.
Stevo.
Andrea.
David.
Kyle.
And to those who don't know us, let's introduce ourselves. We're Cardano. And if you'll permit us, we'd like to change the world.
Welcome, Ron. So, you're the creator of Decentralized Reality Pool. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came up with that name?
Sure. So I, in general, see the world moving towards decentralization with projects like Cardano, and running this pool is my way of contributing to making that a reality.
So, can you talk a little bit about your first experience with a computer?
Sure. My grandpa, he decided he wanted all of his grandchildren to have computers. He originally bought a Mac computer that my brother and I have a twin brother, we went over to his place and played on it. And then he decided that all of his grandchildren should have one. So we got set up with a Mac computer, had the dial-up internet experience, and we started playing this game called Load Runner. From there, we just explored the computers, all the different applications that are on there. I mean, mainly games to begin with, and then like expanding into like paint programs and other programs like that.
Speaking of video games, do you have a favorite video game memory?
So it has to go to Halo. Halo was a game that came out on Xbox back when I was in middle school. One of my band buddies, he got the Xbox and invited, it seemed like half the neighborhood over, myself included, and we got the chance to see Halo. It was a game that, I mean, I was used to playing Nintendo 64, GoldenEye, which was awesome. But then this was like next level immersive experience, and from like playing Halo, we like him and all of our friends. We would do the LAN parties every weekend. I would ride my bike over with my Xbox, and we'd hook up 4 TVs in the basement and just have a blast. So that's what I remember.
So you went to school for industrial engineering. Can you tell me the story behind that?
Sure. So getting into industrial engineering actually started with my love of snowboarding. So back when I was about 12 years old, my friend, his parents were part of the ski patrol, so I was able to go to this ski resort, the local ski resort. That's it wasn't really much of a ski resort. It was really just a hill with some man-made snow. But in any case, I got introduced to snowboarding, and I fell in love. So I decided I had to have my own snowboard. So I was determined to get one. I had actually purchased a video camera over the summer, so I decided to sell that so I can get myself a snowboard. The snowboard I got, I just knew I wanted a blue one, and I got this no-name brand snowboard that wasn't of really good quality. But I mean, I still went and with my friends and just went on a sledding hill, took it off some jumps, and it wasn't long, maybe like a month, maybe 2 months after the snowboard actually cracked right through the core. So I had to get a new one, but I had the chance to dissect the snowboard, like look in the insides of it, and I realized that there's these different layers that make up the snowboard. So there's the core, there's the fiberglass layer, the top sheet, of course, with the cool graphics, and then the base plastic layer, and then the metal edge around it. So like I looked at it and I was like, what makes up a snowboard? I wonder if I can make this better. So I decided I wanted to design snowboards, and then I started researching snowboards, and I found that Burton, one of the manufacturers of snowboards, was one of the best. And I thought, hey, maybe I can go to school and make Burton snowboards one day. So I decided that that's what I wanted to do, and I was good at math and science, so I decided I'm gonna pursue engineering. And once I got into community college, I found out that I was actually more suited for industrial engineering than I was for mechanical engineering. So over time, I left that idea of becoming a mechanical engineer to design snowboards, but that's ultimately what led me down that path.
That's amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about what is industrial engineering?
Yes, industrial engineering is a branch of engineering that focuses on making things and processes better. So what that means is optimizing processes. It means integrating systems of people, products, supply chains, knowledge, information, money, like the costs of a business, pretty much like anything you can think of that has a process behind it. An industrial engineer is probably behind it. So I myself, I've been focused on optimizing processes within manufacturing, but there's many other industries that industrial engineers work in. So healthcare is like a huge one. Financial sector. I mean, Hertz rental cars. If we didn't have industrial engineers designing those processes, you wouldn't be walking up to the counter and walking out with a car right away. So just to give you an example of one of the projects I've been working on is an optimization project where we're taking a 300-step process and optimizing that. So we're eliminating the waste from it, improving the overall efficiency so we can increase the throughput to have an overall better lead time to the customer. So that involves taking manual paper-based processes and implementing a manufacturing execution software system.
All right, that sounds amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about what drew you to Cardano?
Sure. So actually, back in 2017, I watched Charles Hoskinson's whiteboard video, and just understanding that Cardano was the third generation of blockchain technology, and all the academic research that went behind it is really what drew me into it.
Can you talk a little bit about what made you want to be a pool operator?
So I kind of been on the sidelines, just purchasing crypto, but wanting to get involved with blockchain technology. So I saw becoming a stake pool operator as a perfect opportunity to get hands-on with the blockchain.
As a pool operator, what are your thoughts about trade organizations and lobbying groups within the Cardano ecosystem?
So to me, a trade organization is something that's necessary for industries where you have a collective body that represents the group within an industry. So for instance, within Cardano, having stake pool operators run as small businesses, it's something that's a need where we have interests that that benefit the entire community. And having a group like SPOCRA, for example, as a trade organization is something that will benefit everybody through standardization and having a formalized voice and communication channel.
I hear you're running for a SPOCRA board seat. Can you tell us a little bit about why an SPO should vote for you?
Yes, I am running for a SPOCRA board seat. So what I bring to the table is my passion, my level of experience working with different diverse teams, accomplishing a common goal. So I've worked a lot with different standards within industries. So I think that my skill set is perfectly attuned to what we're trying to achieve within SPOCRA. That being said, even if I don't get elected onto the board, I'm still going to be a part of SPOCRA because I believe in the mission and I want to benefit the entire SPO community.
Great. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Ron. And for those SPOs looking for somebody to vote for, check out Ron Hill. And for those of you looking for a pool to stake in, check out DECNT. And again, Ron, I want to thank you for joining us on the We Are Cardano podcast.
Thank you, Marco. I appreciate you having me on.
With that said, thank you for joining us, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.